Welcome to The Process. This is a series that will be documenting my journey in creating product videos. I'm currently a digital media apprentice for the NHS who finds himself doing a lot of video work, but sometimes it's not the most creative, and was looking to do something in my spare time that would let me express myself creatively, but also continue kind of improving on my video and editing skills. So I decided, why not document the process of going from someone who's a complete novice in product video to hopefully in the future having a business where I create these product videos for brands. In today's video, I'll be attempting to create a product video using this raspberry rum from the brand Dead Man's Fingers. The reason I'm using this is I found it in one of the cupboards in my house, and when I came across it, I kind of liked the branding, the style of it, and also enjoyed kind of the aesthetic of the bottle and thought, why not? Also, as I mentioned, I'm an apprentice, so I'm on kind of a tight budget. So if I can find kind of interesting items that I can use in these product videos around the house, then I'll do so. Speaking of budget, here's a quick overview of the camera equipment I have. This has just been built up over the last 12 months or so, as I've occasionally added stuff when I could afford to. You can also see I have limited space, so I'm not really in the position to have multiple backdrops, big lights, and things like sliders that you might see on other filmmaking channels. But that's part of the fun of the series. We both get to see how I kind of progress over the months in terms of equipment, but also in terms of knowledge and skill, and how kind of the quality of my product videos increase. So let's actually get into the creation of the product video. Before jumping kind of straight into it, I did a quick little bit of research around YouTube, just seeing how kind of other video creators create their product videos if they have a process. And a lot of the times I came across the same kind of 5-step process, and I've implemented it to this as well. So getting into it, first is research and inspiration. This includes researching the brand and kind of seeing how they market their brand as a whole, kind of what, are they edgy, are they quite out there, or are they kind of modern and sleek? This just ensures that when you're creating the product video, you are doing so within the brand guidelines and it does fit within kind of the look they're going for. For this, I decided to look at the brand Dead Man Fingers Instagram page so I could gather an idea of what the brand visuals are and what type of content they put out. Also, the other part to this stage is looking for inspiration of other creators so you can start to get kind of the creative juices flowing and see if there's any shots that you want to try and recreate in your own video. For this, I watched a few YouTube videos on shooting product videos to get an idea of other people's setup. And I also watched a few Instagram reels, which I actually find really useful as they kind of tend to kick in your creative mind. I get loads of kind of inspiration on shots I could use in these product videos and more. So after the research is done, we go into stage number 2, and that is planning. So now my head's kind of filled with a bunch of different creative ideas. It's now time to put pen to paper and create a shot list for the product video. Also at this stage, I noticed that a lot of other creators tend to identify the track they're going to use for the product video. This just ensures kind of when you're coming up with the shots for your shot list, it matches the music track that you're going to use. So if you have like a high BPM track, you're going to need to get a lot of kind of quick shots. So in the edit, you can jump from shot to shot to shot and it matches the song. Or if it was kind of a heavy metal, you wouldn't necessarily kind of plan in some like slow sweeping shots because it doesn't tend to go with the music very well. So I settled on a rock track for my product video as I thought it matches the brand quite well. So if we take a look at their logo, the main thing's a skull, and that kind of goes with the whole rock music theme. I also envisioned the product video to be quite short and snappy, and I think rock music plays into this because a lot of the time rock music can be quite kind of in your face and loud, and this would only add to the product video as a whole. Another important thing to do at this stage is to identify any equipment and props that you're going to use while shooting. For me, it's pretty simple. I don't have a lot of equipment, so there's not a whole big range to choose from. But for props, I decided to pick up some raspberries just to kind of push the visuals and obviously make it clear that it's a raspberry flavored drink. And also I picked up a glass and some ice because I wrote down on my shot list that I wanted a kind of the ending shot to be the spirit poured into the glass with ice to kind of get that nice visual. Moving on to stage 3, and that is shooting the video. And if I'm being completely honest, this stage didn't go to plan at all. I started off by rearranging my room to make space and had the goal of filming most, if not all, the shots using my 35mm 1.8 lens, but ran into a few issues with focus and distance when trying to get close-up shots, and also because of the focal length, it was hard to ensure the background of the video was red. By the way, I was using the Liverpool top I'm wearing now as the background. I just taped it to the wall, but unfortunately it wasn't wide enough. So after hours of feeling sorry for myself and thinking, what's the point? I just decided to shoot it on my iPhone. Why not, right? I have a 12 mini. The camera on it is very good. Everyone knows kind of iPhone cameras are really high quality. So I just went ahead and done that. Here are the unedited shots out of camera. As you can see, I'm using the white top to cover the wood surface of my drawer, and I'm using the red top as a background. I also placed the raspberries throughout the shot, and you can also see the shot of the drink getting poured into the glass. So after finishing that nightmare of the shoot and actually getting my shots, but at least I learnt for next time anyway, it was now onto the editing stage. So for this, I think it's best if I go ahead and show you kind of the final video, and then we can kind of dive into Premiere Pro, my editing software, and I'll show you kind of how I took the unedited clips into its final form. So the last stage is review. Looking at the video again, I think for my first one, it isn't too bad at all, and it had definitely been a learning experience, even though there were some very frustrating parts. I think going forward, I'll probably stick to filming on my iPhone because the quality that came out was actually really surprising, and I think if you've got a good light source, then the quality of the iPhone camera is kind of good enough for now anyway. And then until I can kind of add to my equipment and potentially get a backdrop and maybe even a macro lens for this camera, then I'll kind of look to switch back to my actual camera. In terms of things that I want to improve on, I did notice in a couple of the shots in the video, the kind of the reflection on the bottle from the light. So I need to kind of dive deeper into that and see kind of increase my knowledge on lighting, and also see if it's because I need some more diffusion on my big light, and see how I can resolve that. Also, another thing I picked up on was maybe trying to be a bit more out there with my camera movements and transitions, as this one was very simple, but to be honest, it is my first one, so I can always kind of build on that as kind of I get more experience and skills. So there it is, the first episode wrapped up of the process, which is documenting my journey as a complete novice in product video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.